Good evening, viewers. You are welcome to the chat, and my name is Chris Carter, and we're coming to you live from City TV at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop here in Adabraka. And we're going to be cruising into this evening with some entertainment juice. First, we're going to be starting with some music video reviews, which we're going to be doing with our panel, a well-versed panel that know the ins and outs of the entertainment industry right here in Ghana. And then we will also be talking to a celebrity guest. But before we talk to the celebrity guest, of course, there are some juice that are going on social media that everybody's talking about concerning this entertainment industry, which we're going to be dissecting, of course, with the panel again, and then straight into some cocktails. So the cocktail of the week is called Mwah, inspired by our celebrity guest that's going to be passing through the show today, no other person than Nana Kofi Esihini, and the ingredients are pineapple juice, ginger syrup, mint leaves, and of course, Good Day Energy Drink. And the chat is proudly sponsored by Good Day Energy Drinks, keeps you going, and the cocktail followed by Bruce Services. Now it's time for us to take a music break, and we will be right back, so don't go nowhere. Sit and enjoy. We'll be back. And you are welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the chat right here on City TV, and it's time for us to watch some videos. I'm going to be a panel that knows their ins and outs in the entertainment industry here in Ghana, and I'm going to introduce them. But let's just watch the videos first before I introduce them. So we have two videos which we're going to be showing. The first video is Amarado with Counselor, directed by Kojo Miles, and the second one is Medical with Letter to My Ex, directed by Yao Skyface. So let's watch the videos, and when we come back, we'll be talking about them. All right, guys, and those were the two videos that we watched. Amarado with Counselor, directed by Kojo Miles, and Medical with Letter to My Ex, directed by Yao Skyface. And like I said, I'm not going to be doing this alone. We actually have a well-versed entertainment pundit that they're actually going to help us, review these videos. And I'm going to introduce them. No other person than Vida, Vivid Vida, who has been here on so many occasions. She's an entertainment pundit. You are welcome to the show. And for the first time right here, joining us is Ricky Tennyson, a friend of mine, and the programming and AR for 3 Music Networks. And also today, our extraordinary cocktail maker, Bruce, is going to be joining us in also talking about these videos today. You are welcome to the show, Bruce. You're always welcome, but first time you're going to be talking, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you all doing?
Very well.
Okay,
Don't I deserve a hug for this video?
you actually deserve a hug. Okay. Oh, it's been a long time I've seen you, though.
Yeah. You've been browning me,
But how's work? Work is good.
Yeah, work is good.
But don't worry, me and you were speaking. We can connect in French.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
No, I speak French too.
You too?
Yeah.
Toi aussi, tu parles français?
Il parle
No,
pas.
we need to start. No, it's the audience
Nous
first.
sommes des
They won't
meilleurs
understand what
amis.
we are
Nous sommes
saying.
des meilleurs
So I
amis.
think we should just.
Okay. So we're gonna keep it light.
It's all
right.
kind.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the music videos. I'm gonna start with you, Vida. Vida, what do you think about the 2 music videos, and which one does it for you?
Okay, I think I'll start with Amarado's.
Mm-hmm.
It treats a very important subject in the song. And we all know how these domestic abuse and abuse in marriage has been topical these days, especially when we had the Ekueme singer, die as a result of these things. The video is not your typical conventional storyline kind of video, or the video that has half naked women dancing in it. It treats a subject matter. So the shots, the settings, the characters in it, it fits the purpose. Mm-hmm. And now when he talks about the issues that got some of the women abused, it kind of, resonated with me that these are the real issues that mirror the society and how people are suffering in their homes. There were a lady came and said that he has everything at home, but the husband's penis is too small in it. And I'm like, really? And somebody comes and says that, no, that particular one doesn't resonate with me. And then another lady comes and says her husband doesn't pay rent, and when she talks about it, she's given a punch and all that. So right down to the end of the video, I think he missed the point when his wretched screen wife came in. I mean, he looked wretched than all the other ladies seated there. Yeah. So we are trying to drum home this issue that if you have problems, if you have depression, if you have emotional issues, you should speak to a professional person, which he rightly did in the video, calling himself a counselor, giving them alternatives as to what to do. So if you drum home this message and at the very tail end, your wife comes in and looking very wretched and also says that she is going through almost all the problems that the ladies have presented to you, then you are kind of, you know, spoiling the whole case. Now, people who want to see professionals for depression and all that will go like, well, even the person I'm speaking to has problems, so why should I, you know, go to you in the first place? I think he didn't quite get it when it comes to the impacts that music, you know, plays or the impact that it has on us. Back in the days, we had a group called Osofudazi. You probably were not in Ghana, but they were a drama group. They were commissioned to, you know, act plays on national issues. And after watching just an episode, you can understand what the government of the day was trying to depict or tell you through just that drama. So I'm looking at this song as something that could have been adopted by the Ministry of Gender. But then when it gets to the tail end and you spoil the whole subject, you know, I didn't quite like it. Moving on to Medical's video, I think there's nothing extraordinary about that particular video. It's just a gentleman complaining of lack of affection from the ex. And we see clearly a nagging woman in the video going up and down. I mean, the title is very tricky though. Letter to my ex. I was expecting to, you know, hear him kind of shade Sister Debbie because we've heard my sweet ex before. But this, like, is kind of flat. It's not the usual that we are used to with Medical, but it's okay. It's pleasing to the eyes.
Yeah, so which one does it for you?
I think I'll go for, it's hard to choose. Yeah, it's hard to choose. This is kind of flat. And the other one, to the plot twist, kind of didn't do it for me. So I don't have a choice. I don't have a pick this week.
Okay. Yeah. So Ricky.
Right. Well, for me, Kojo Miles for the first video. You know, the video director behind Amarado's video. A young kid picking up, you know, and I like the fact that, you know, a lot of people are now introducing him, or he's also introducing himself into the industry. If you look at the whole idea behind, you know, the video, is simple, you know, because of the message and because of the kind of song that Amarado produced. Once it's rap and it's supposed to address issues, you don't go too much. You know, it's supposed to be simple so people can pay attention to the words or, you know, the lyrics of the song. So clearly, I think Kojo Miles nailed it for me with the setting. The only challenge is there was not too much creativity in there. You know, he could have done better with how the story was narrated or how they approached, you know, the whole concept. Then again, I also like the fact that, you know, Ghanaian artists now are taking visuals seriously. You know, before then, Amarado, we've had conversations about that. You would not find him going an extra mile to shoot a video of this quality, even though it is not, you know, super dope. I like the fact that this is not a song that strategically was produced to be a banger or a monster hit, but he went in or put in an effort to at least produce a video of a certain quality where, you know, City can play, 3Music can play, every other platform would want to put this, you know, video on their platform. And I think I need to commend, you know, himself and all upcoming or even well-established Ghanaian musicians for that matter. And then for Medical, I think I'll also give it up for Yao Skyface, you know, who also shot this. The exceptional use of props in Medical's video clearly tells you how ready or how willing how ready our Ghanaian directors are. We've had conversations about that, you know, where at every point we are pointing fingers, too many fingers at, you know, the Ghanaian creatives. And for me, I love the fact that, you know, now you're seeing props in such a song. You know, everybody is now trying to meet the standard, and it's good for me. I wouldn't want to go into too much of the concept, whether or not it fits, whatever. But I think, you know, for me, the fact that we are seeing the work and the effort that these people are putting in, I think I need to give it up for Medical, and then Skyface, Amarado, and Kojo Miles. But for me, amongst the two, like she said, both of them are still flat, but I think Medical's video, probably because of the use of props, I think that's it for me.
All right. Okay, mixologist Bruce?
Okay, well, for me to start with, I would like to say that they both did a very good job. Amara took a topic and then spoke about it. Medical, like they're all saying, it's flat. I don't really get where the song was going. What story he was trying to tell, I didn't really get it. But for Amrado, he did it for me. I like the words that he used in the music, and he clearly tells us that he's trying to educate us about the domestic violence that happens in our country. So I think for me, I'll be the black goat here. I'll choose Amrado over Medical. Yeah, because of the education that comes in.
Right.
Let me make him some cocktail.
All right, thank you so much. And now we have some comments on the videos. I'm going to be reading some comments. On Amarado's video, Counselor, Emmanuel says, this is a perfect depiction of what is truly going on in some counselor's life. I love the ending part of the video. This is deep. Kudos. And Francois says Amarado is gradually taking over, and it's not just rap. He makes it interesting. And Mapat says Amarado is raising the rap level high in Ghana. God bless and favor him. Cyril says the creativity in the piece is unmatched. Your versatility in rap music is really incredible. Big love. And on Medical's letter to my ex, Annabella says, Medical is really getting better and better every day. I bet this track is one of his best. More talents to you, big man. And Uncut Africa Live says, when it comes to drill, trap, and rap, no one is touching Ghana. And Owusu Francis says, thank you, man, for dropping this banger for us to face Warner Girls attacking us with Wendy Shit's new single. Medical, you are indeed beyond control. And Foster ends it with, let the boys fight over best rapper titles. We are showing them real talent now. MDK is making us proud every day. Now it's time for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be delving deep into what everybody was talking about on social media, and it concerns PR in music. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, guys. If you're just joining us, this is The Chat. Earlier on, we reviewed some videos. Now it's time for us to get into the juice and gist of the week. But before we do that, I would like to call on Brew Services to serve us the cocktail of the week. And the cocktail of the week is inspired by celebrity guest Nana Kofi Estihini. That's going to be passing through the show. And the ingredients are pineapple juice, ginger syrup, mint leaves, and Good Day energy drink. And The Chat is proudly sponsored by Good Day energy drink, which keeps you going, and the cocktail foiled by Brews Services. Thank you so much for the cocktail. And yeah, so guys, earlier on I said that we're going to be talking about PR in music, importance of PR in an artist's career.
Right.
So what actually sparked this conversation is earlier this week a video of a gospel singer, Joyce Blessing, surfaced, that got everybody a bit worried. It was on social media of her drinking and, saying some things. On the back of the press statement released by the management of Joyce Blessing regarding that viral video, some have raised concerns about the lapses in the works of artists in PR in Ghana. And now, as you already know, we have Vida with us. Vida, who is an entertainment pundit, and Ricky Tennyson, who is a programming and AR for 3 music networks. And we are going to be talking about this. So, guys, what do you think about the video, first of all?
You mean Joyce?
Yeah, Joyce's
Blessing.
video.
I mean, it's sad to watch, because when such things happen as an artist, you need to ask yourself, is this kind of video going to damage my image, or is it going to add on to it? Because we've seen artists who have gone through such scandals. So first off, I was like, how is she going to go about it? Because we want to see our gospel artists dress a certain way, speak a certain way, even dance a certain way, because we've actually criticized some of the dance moves, saying that they've lifted the club to the gospel music videos, which we are trying to, turn it around and say that we don't need to be static and always stand by a flower pot and say that we are singing gospel.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit disappointed when I saw the statement coming from her management. That statement is totally rubbish. It is filled with bad English grammar. That doesn't make sense. That it tells you the lapses in her communication wing. You need a PR with an artist like Joyce Blessing to kind of dictate the narrative in the media space, the external relations that you have with your fans, with your business partners. You need somebody to, kind of tell you where to go and what to do. So first off, that statement was not supposed to come out, and I've seen some Ernest Autry or something that signed it, and it's total bogus. If I were with them, I would have spun this in a very nice way. Example, we have TikTok now. We have people acting, mimicking other people's voices. Quickly, I'll get a few people to say the exact thing that Joyce was saying, and then I'll pull it up and say, well, she's acting. TikTok. And that red one you saw was Vimto. I mean, there's nothing, nobody knows what's the content of that drink except yourself. You get it? So I'll spin it in a certain way that it will look rubbish. But rather, they admitted that she was sending a video drinking and calling another man's name, and you attach it to your husband. You know your husband wasn't born on Saturday. He is not Kwame. You know that for sure. So why then do you allow or sanction this statement to come out, attributing your romance or your whatever to another man, to your husband, somebody you have sued? He wants to win the case in court. So definitely he will come out, defend himself and say that, well, I'm not Kwame. You're actually drinking, a gospel musician drinking, and then professing love to another man who isn't your husband. Right. And you're wearing the band that he gave you. So he had to come out to say something. Right. And then I also want to tell the husband that the video that he did was totally also unnecessary to a point, because we have an adage in Akan that says, even animals will want to stay where they have their peace of mind. So if you have a woman who is married to you, wearing your ring, and then she professes love to another man, to the extent that lack of affection from that other man gets her to drink, it tells you that there's something wrong with the home. There's some cracks in there that as a man, you should man up and, fix. Rather than, telling the world that it's just like him declaring or proclaiming that, well, there are problems in my home. And that is what has resulted in my wife choosing this. So right. If they don't stop calling even managers their houseboys, you know the essence of having a professional PR person in your team. And this wouldn't be, it wouldn't be on the chat.
Right.
We wouldn't be here discussing it.
Yeah. So Ricky, what is the work of a PR person?
Well, interestingly, people don't get it, but when issues like this come out, you expect, again, like Vida was saying, you expect every artist to have at least a publicist, a PR team, who should be playing certain roles or who should be taking certain responsibilities. Unfortunately, a lot of our artists can't afford it, because it is one thing hiring someone as a publicist, and another thing getting a proper or a professional publicist to do the job. People think that, because someone is popular on TV or someone is known on social media, they best fit as a publicist. That's way from that's not the way to go. But point is, for a publicist across the world, the standard for a professional publicist, they more or less like, it's an external part of, it's part of marketing for every artist, but it serves as the news part, the news marketing part, of the artist's career. So there's people hire a whole PR agency whose role and responsibility is purely to manage conversations or create conversations around an artist.
Right.
So one key thing that, PR agencies have that every other publicist or every other person will not have is a PR agency has a whole media list. So if you are hiring a PR agency to do something for you, one of the key things you should be looking out for is what contacts do they have. These media, these PR agencies also are in a position, or they well know their job, that these media lists they have been categorized. So they have print media, they have a whole list from the print media, they have a whole list from the digital media, they have a whole list from even traditional media. And another thing they do is, when there's a project by an artist coming up, they will now pitch. So unlike, you know, the project comes out and now you're reaching out to people, no, weeks or months before a project is coming out, they'll reach out to you that, hi, CCTV, Wale is coming to Ghana to run a particular campaign or a project. We are pitching for PR for him. So, you know, what we want him to do is do A, B, C, D. What platforms do you guys have that we can put our artist on? Or what opportunities are you guys also looking forward to, you know, have with our artist? So that's the core role of the, you know, PR agencies. The other things too they do is, a lot of the times, people just put press releases together and then they push them out. They send it to a whole list of people. But a proper PR agency does not do that, because they have a media list and they understand the role of every media platform, like TMZ. If they want to send a particular so if a PR agency wants to employ the services of maybe TMZ or the Shade Room and TMZ's model is just like what in Ghana Zion Felix does. Titillating stories. Their stories are more of intrigue. Their stories are more of like gossip, controversial and all of that. They won't send a verbose story to a Zion Felix because they know his audience do not understand or do not connect. Not like they don't understand, but they do not connect, or they do not go on Zion Felix's platform to consume such content. Yeah. They will do that on a City TV, you know, and all of those things. So these PR agencies are like professionals. Their job is day in, day out, understanding or following every media platform and the reviews they get. So if I'm working for you as a PR agent, I bring to you a list and tell you, because of your brand or because of what you represent, these are the platforms that I think best fits for you. I won't do PR for, you know, a hardcore rap artist on maybe a particular blog.
Right.
I'll place him in a rap, you know, news portal. You know, so these are some of the things that PR agencies actually do. So I'm sure as the conversation goes on, you know, I'll bring out several other elements. That
do we have like real PR agencies that focus on musicians here in Ghana? I mean, I've seen PR agencies for other, you know, industries like fashion, oil and gas, even individual brands. But do we have that for musicians here?
I haven't seen that. Again, like I said, for a proper PR agency, it's very expensive to pay for. A PR agency is super expensive because, one, like I said, their roles. So one of the things, the advantages of a PR agency and then an internal PR person, which almost like every in-house or every organization has. Like for every organization will one way or the other find a publicist or a communications department, but it's different from a PR agency.
But who qualifies to be a PR person?
You see, so a PR agency, and like as a matter of fact, is more like their job is expanded. Their roles and responsibilities and then the resources that they have to provide certain services for these people is expanded. For the regular organization, it's just one or two people running a PR agency, or I mean the communications or the PR department. But for a proper agency, there are several departments because there are people who actually do analytics. What they do is, for the time that I'm working for you, as you know, or I'm working for you as a client, what I do every day is to assess every story that I post. So unlike you giving me the story and me putting it out, I monitor the reaction, the response, how people react to content that comes from you.
Right.
Every other publicist do not do that because you don't have the means, you don't even have the time.
Okay.
You know, what they also do is they gather this information as insight, and then sometimes they even trade it off to organizations and brands that, okay, I'm working for you know, Chris, and per stories that we've been able to produce or per what we've been able to do with her over the years, these are the reactions, or these are the kind of people that respond to her, because they've gone behind the regular post to also like dig or fish out the deep information or the responses that people are giving. So they're able to trade off this particular insight to brands and say, if you're working with Chris, that's what a PR agency does. If you're working with Chris,
it's not just about, adverting,
no, it's not just about stories.
Yeah.
No, proper PR agencies, like I'm saying, they have proper data and insights that, okay, every time I write about a Shatawale, these are the reactions. This is what I get. This is what I get. In the last 6 months of we writing about Shatawale, this is the response. It is dipping. It is going up. They do all those analysis. So if you are my client, every year, if I'm working for you as a PR agent, every year or every quarter, you're supposed to sit down and do a proper analysis or a proper, review of my job with you.
Okay. So Vida, he has said that he has not yet seen any proper structured PR person or agency here when it comes to the music industry. But now, how do artists get the right PR person? Because obviously he's saying there's no agency for that right now. But do you think there are right PR people trying to do it right here? And how do these artists reach out to them or get to them?
I think those studying communication studies will cry this evening after hearing Ricky say that we don't have like proper PR person
for the music industry.
For the music industry, I mean,
because I've seen
I
fashion,
think
I've seen other
they
ones.
need to specialize more.
Right.
They shouldn't just do the political talk and the socio-economic talk. They should also choose the arts as well. I think it's worth noting that we have basics when it comes to communication. There are people who can teach you how to answer questions when you are on an interview, everyday conversations, promos and all that. But we have people who have specialty in scandals, spinning it around. Elsewhere in the world, we have fixers. Even if you're a criminal, there are people who can fix the whole situation and make it look appealing.
Yeah.
So you need to look at yourself and where you belong to. Do you belong to a record label? Are you a solo artist? There's nothing wrong with calling somebody like Ricky or myself and saying that, well, you've been in the space for quite a while. This is the issue that I'm confronted with. What do you think I should do? Because we have a gospel group we call the Table of Men.
Right.
If Joyce Blessing's management had called, say, Ninoy, had called Frankie Five, had called Obi Nate, I'm sure they would have, given her advice as to what to do. So it has to do with your budget. If you can't afford it, make good use of the contacts that you have around you. And definitely you will find one voice that will speak some sense into the action that you are about to take. Yeah, so I think they have to note that.
So, but can you identify some of the loopholes or some of the lapses in the works of artist PR persons? Apart from the bad English, obviously.
We have a clear example. We have artists who are very vocal, but anytime they open their mouths to speak, they cause stir that does not, have any correlation with their craft. You get it? So you need to know who you are. If you have an artist who is noisy for just making the noise sake, you have to sit the person down and draft a plan. This is what we are going to talk about in this interview. So when you get here and you are asked about your family, about your girlfriend, about somebody you did that to, you are not supposed to respond to it. So there should be a plan. There are others who imbibe by it, but the moment they get onto the platform, they feel swollen-headed. I mean, everybody's listening and they go off key. So there should be that strict nature attached to it. So if you see the need to have a manager, if you see the need to have a business manager, if you see the need to hire a lawyer to read your contracts, you should also see the need to have a publicist, a professional communications person who will teach you what to say and how to, go about it.
But I think, sometimes some of these things, and it's good we have these conversations, when incidents like this happen, it's for us, as media people, to now try and reorient or try and create a different narrative for people to understand, what it means. So it is not just about coming out or coming directly at Joyce Blessing, but now the conversation that is being had now. Because back then, like I was saying, music videos were not taken seriously. Now we are in that space. Back then, the legal part of the music business was not taken seriously. But now we hear a lot of people getting into trouble and they are now, hiring the services of lawyers and all of that. Same thing with PR. What I see here you know, people don't know, but there are two types of it. There's paid media and there's earned media. Paid media is like advertising. That's what everybody does now. Like,
Rented
Zion,
press.
post this thing for me. I pay you and you post this. I post. But PR is different, which is the earned media. That is, even if I am paying, it comes out, it doesn't come out as like, you know, it is more or less like a story that is being churned out or well written about you. So that's the difference. But a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between it. Like, I go on Zion's page and all I see is, you know, it's clear that this is paid for. It's clear that no, but PR agencies understand and they know how to, like Vida said, spin or turn the story around to make it look, you know, solid enough. And then they also do placement. So like we can, your PR agency would say, there's a story that's being written about maybe another artist, maybe AJ, but your name will come in there. They will place you. So it doesn't look like, oh, it is paid for. But while they are talking about AJ, they can also say one other presenter who is coming up strongly is, so that's the work of the PR or the PR agency. They are looking out for stories that are coming out that has nothing to even do with their clients directly, but they want to find a way to place them in those stories. But how many of, you know, artists do you even see? Every story that you see is directly about either a Stone Boy, a Kelvin Boy, a Camido directly. So it's something that, you know, we need to also like practice. There's one last thing that I think George Britton is doing well, but you know, a proper PR agency can handle that. Everything that Camido does, you see George Britton putting it out.
Yes.
If he was working directly with a proper PR agency, he wouldn't be having to stress himself with that. You know, you wouldn't be seeing George Britton alone posting Camido stuff. You'd now be finding several other blogs, several other platforms sharing them. And that's how, you know, if these artists begin to get this concept that the PR job of my career is also important, we'll begin to be getting a lot of our artists in various platforms. This girl is doing that so well. Amare has,
come on.
yeah.
Amare, like, I don't put her on the Ghanaian level.
Exactly. Amare has a paid, you know, people didn't get it. Even David Oaks, you know, management some time ago said that when they first decided to pay a PR agency, spend millions, you know, of naira to pay a PR agency, people never understood it. But now you're finding him, you know, appearing on certain platforms, same as Burna Boy. You are seeing him appear at certain platforms, and it is not because Burna is just connected, but it is also because he has a proper PR agency who is, you know, finding all these big interviews for him.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you the importance of the PR in artist career, but you answered it.
You said it all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you've said it all. But then, right now, obviously, that will also mean that we have to, or people have to also try and look for ways to create jobs for themselves when it comes to PR.
Yeah. No, you see, the space is open. The opportunities are there.
It's actually very open.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very open. You know, but it's green. People haven't attempted it. One, there are two different things. It's a professional job. It comes with a certain skill. It is not just because, like, you know, Vida is a communication student. She, you know, communication professional, so she can easily do PR or start a PR agency for a musician. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Because the work of a musician comes with various, you know, parts of it. You need to also understand how the musician actually acts or thinks before you can decide to do a particular work with them.
Yeah.
Certain people also come in as more or less, like certain agencies also play the role of more or less like reputation management, like what happened to Joyce.
Yes.
Their job, that PR agency's job, is just to manage the reputation of her. Yes, there's a scandal, but they are going to turn the whole thing around. Like what happened to Chris Brown.
Yes.
He actually, you know, assaulted Rihanna, but at the end of the day, look at who Chris Brown is now.
And look
People,
at who
people still forget about it because these agencies who also play the role of reputation or managing people's reputation will now go deep down and make sure that the stories that come out do not damage that of the artist. So like you said, the opportunities are there. You know, the communication students who are graduating, who are coming out, it's just
time for them to just,
but
you know.
you see, it's just unfortunate that they don't understand the music industry. So they are scared that is this going to pay, because people in the industry are already throwing out certain, you know, ideas and certain narratives that, oh, there's no money in the industry and all of that too. They are scared. But elsewhere in Nigeria, which you know,
Yeah.
it is big business. Now when people come out of law school, they are rather interested in getting into the music
In the
industry
entertainment, it's
more
true,
than
it's
the
true.
entertainment industry. They are pure entertainment lawyers, a lot of them in Nigeria than in any other African country, and that's why even their industry is growing. So I think, you know, the comms students who are also coming out should now begin to also read more, you know, learn more about the industry, the opportunities that it comes with, and then also venture into it.
Right. I would agree with you, but Vida, when we say the comms students should actually, you know, jump onto this green field that is, you know, fresh and which they can actually, we believe they can thrive on, do you think our musicians are ready to pay for them?
That's the problem. I mean, they limit the whole PR
Because most of the
thing.
things, just my friend that can speak English. He's my manager.
Yeah.
And the manager is the one that does everything. The manager
Right.
is the assistant.
Right.
He's the stylist.
It's
He's
true.
like everything. So do you
true.
think people like this are even ready to pay for these
I think
services?
conversations like this will help.
Right.
Because they look at PR as somebody who only speaks.
Yeah.
And so even if you go for an event and you say you want to be an MC and you charge a certain amount, they think, what, just for speaking and you want me to pay you this amount?
yeah.
Forgetting that the MC is the one that's going to drive the whole event till the end of it. So if someone is going to have a good experience on that show or at that event, it has a lot to do with the MC. So they see it as just speaking. And they are not willing to spend on somebody who is just coming to speak. So that is the problem. So until scandals come your way, until you go against the law and then people have to set in, you do not realize the role that PR or publicists or communication persons play in the team. Now, one thing is, we don't have enough data as to how this music business works.
Yes.
We don't have
Yes.
any library that stores our works and the temperaments of some artists and trace it down to the current crop that we have now. So it makes it difficult as a student to study when you don't have the materials. You get it?
That's deep.
I get you, but
It
you
makes
know,
it difficult.
you're right. Not
you
to
only have to align with the artist before you get that kind of experience enough to advise them as to what to do. But are they willing to even give these communication students internships in those various record labels that we have in Ghana, so that they can also extend their expertise to what they do? There's a structural problem
In the
with this whole
in
thing
this
that
record
we
Chris,
need
label,
to,
yeah.
Chris, let me
look at.
not to cut you, but you see, it's a problem of, it's a Ghanaian problem. We don't like taking responsibilities or taking advantages of an open space. She's saying that there's no data, but that should be a reason why
Somebody should
will,
come out.
exactly someone will put it or take it upon themselves that I've realized there's no data in this industry. I want to go and find funds. I want to go and find get grants, funding to break this, because if you look across the world, you can realize that these same industries are doing well. They are contributing huge, margins to the economy. So why are we not doing that? The same streams, the numbers that other people are getting in other countries, if we are not close to it, or if we are not equaling it, we are close to
Very
it.
close to
So
it.
it means that Ghana is also doing well. So it's about time someone picks it up and says, okay, I want to invest in this part of the industry. But typical Ghanaians, you are going to school, your mom is telling you, don't go and play with your rich friends. If you go, be in your lane. And that's the mentality. So nobody is daring enough to decide that, okay, I've realized a certain gap in this industry and I want to take advantage of it. Everybody wants
the safe place.
the safe place.
Yeah.
And that's what is affecting us, because if we now begin to invest in this data mining, this analytics and all of that, trust me, it's going to do a lot of us so much good, because there are opportunities, like you said, there are a lot of opportunities in this space, but it has been left just untapped.
Yeah. Okay, so I even want to link it to. Wait, first of all, have you watched Neymar?
You're right,
Neymar on
yeah.
Netflix.
No, I've heard about it. Yeah,
Oh my
the story,
God!
the
Yes,
story about Neymar.
the story and how the
yeah.
father actually opened an agency
Right.
just for him,
Yes.
just for his brand. to be his publicist and everything. So like anytime there's a scandal, they do
They do-
like,
yeah.
like they
Yeah.
just work on
Yeah.
it. So they even went out there. They even, like you said, they even went out there out of their ways to bring, you know, these brands.
Yes.
So they actually created this whole bad boy look on him.
On him, yeah.
And it's working for him.
Of course, even though now maybe on the pitch is not performing so well, his brand is still valuable.
there.
And that's what they did with David Beckham, they did with Cristiano Ronaldo. Even away from the football, his brand, his image, everything about him is very, 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 very solid. But here, you know, it's more or less like we just see something going on and we just want to emulate without
Right.
without even understanding the
Yeah.
you know the proper dynamics or
Yeah.
technicalities of what goes into it. And I think it's something we all need. I think we should start taking risks, like all
True,
of us. Like
true,
yeah,
true. So Vida, do you have any final words?
As we speak, Joyce has kind of confirmed that she was drinking to profess love to a certain Kwame that we are all looking at. Now, the effects are going to be quite, you know, huge. Because we know our typical Ghanaian Christian family. There are lots of churches that are going to cancel out on her. She's not going to play shows for quite a while now, and a whole lot. What we are saying is the impacts or the disadvantages outweigh that of when you decide to get in a PR person. So, even if you don't have the funds, reach out. Just reach out before it becomes too late.
Right.
But for those who thrive on such scandals, I mean, they don't care. They're just excited. And for those people too, the good news don't sell.
Yeah.
Because they thrive on those scandals. All we are saying is that if you see the need to hire a lawyer, hire a publicist or a PR person. Ricky is here, I'm here. I mean, we will advise you. When it comes to the cash, to drop it. Drop the cash.
Okay, Ricky, any final words?
Yeah, for me, I think I need to commend the production team, you know, for this particular conversation. I love conversations like this. I love when, you know, producers turn around a particular controversy or incident into more of a thought leadership conversation, and that's what we are doing here, because it shouldn't be just, okay, did she do well, we are attacking her and all of that, but how can other people learn from it? And I think, you know, it's a good one. That's the way to go, because often people think that it's all about the negativity. Yes, someone commits an incident, but we you know, as the media is supposed to turn it around to also now have a broader or bigger conversation around it. And I think I need to give it up to you guys. And
Thank you so much. It was nice having you guys, and this conversation was very insightful and also very informative. So if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, music PR in Ghana, you should start it. This could actually be what it's telling you. Start that job. Start it right now. And thank you once more. Thank you for coming. So now it's time for us to get to the red couch, and then we'll be talking to our celebrity guest. So just sit tuned, and we'll be right back after this little break. And you're welcome back, guys. If you're just joining us, this is the chat right here on City TV. Earlier on, we got to review music videos, and we had some juice and gist when it comes to PR in the entertainment industry. But right now on the red couch, we are going to be talking to our celebrity guest, who is no other than extraordinary Creative Griffin. That's what I'm going to call him, because right now I don't even know what he is no more. It's no other person than Nana Kofi Estihini. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I just had to call you a Creative Griffin. You know that because when we talk about creative, it's you. It's you.
Thank you.
It's you. Anyway, so before we get into the conversation, I would like to call on Brew Services for our cocktail. And you know, you've been on the show before. So obviously, the cocktail of this week is actually inspired by you.
Hey.
And it's called Mwah. Mwah. And it's its ingredients are pineapple juice, ginger syrup, mint leaves, and Good Day Energy drink. And the chat is proudly sponsored by Good Day Energy Drinks. Keeps you going. And the cocktail followed by Brew Services. Cheers to the Creative Griffin and mwah. So talking of mwah, I love the lips on your shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lips,
So we've all known you as the music video director, but it looks like you know, you are more than that. You are just more than, you know, holding the cameras and, you know, creating magic with the cameras. You know, directing music videos. You've been, I've seen some of your works lately, but tell us what most of the things you're doing right now, apart from, you know, Directing, yeah.
Okay, so I think this question takes me back to like 2003. That's right after uni. At that time, I started directing music videos. I just want to give you like a brief idea of the journey. I started directing music videos. I was sketching like mad. I wanted to start my own fashion label. I just finished uni, very hungry, very exuberant, very youthful. Then I picked up a camera. I started doing wedding photography, and then I would do some brand work on the side whilst I started my own label. I actually started a label with a friend, and I left and started my own label.
And we are back. Sorry for the break in transmission. So we are still talking to Nana Kofi Asehene, and I was asking, so which of the creative hats do you like to wear, and are you saying goodbye to cinematography?
No, okay. So I think the thing is, I'm at a point in my life where I've developed a liking for solving problems.
Okay.
Okay. So a doctor will solve problems by operating or by curing people. I solve problems from my creative side, and that happens to be a lot of things. So right now my sole aim is to be able to develop products, develop projects that will solve problems basically. So like with the fashion line, it's clothes, it's skincare, it's leather work, it's furniture, it's everything, because every single day I have an idea or so that I want to put out to the world to solve a particular problem. So that's how it's going to be, everything and everything. I mean, film, everything.
Right,
like a mixture of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So like right now, how would you call this particular project that you're working on, and what is it inspired by?
Okay, so so like I said, I was into fashion.
Yes.
I was into fashion. I took part in the International Young Fashion Design Awards organized by British Council. That was like 10, 15 years ago.
Wow.
I won it, 10 of us, 10 finalists worldwide, went to London Fashion Week, went through all that process, got mentored by Jimmy Delaja, Kofi Ansan, all of that. Yeah, I did shows for GTP, etc. And then that faded off. But this project is just like a renaissance of that part of my life, because I realized I was at a point where all these ideas were burning inside me and I had to bring them out.
Yeah.
So basically this project, the first part of it is just to put out a lookbook. Just the kind of ideas I think about, my approach to clothing, my approach to style, and then follow up with a number of collections, one for men, one for females, and then a mixture, and then something for kids and all of that. So this is just like a tip of the iceberg. It was a way to sort of like wash my hands, crack my knuckles, to get ready for fashion.
Yeah. I actually really love the collection, and when you put it out, I was like, wow, he's into clothes too. But right now, what kind of message are you sending out to the world with this bespoke city? You know, if that's a word.
Okay, so I mean, the thing is, and I'll start from a personal note. I'm in a place right now where I think, with all the experience I've gathered, and other parts of my life is I consult for corporate organizations. So there are times when on a regular day I'm talking brand identity, I'm talking strategy. I went and got myself an MBA just because of that. And that's all because of my creative background. So right now I'm at a place where, based on my entrepreneurship, based on the academics, based on the creativity, I want to be able to provide solutions for people. So for the regular person, it will be the products I put out. For organizations, it will be a conversation about their brand strategies and how to move their companies forward, all with the backbone of creativity. Because I think in this country, when people talk about creativity, it's just about the embellishment, the aesthetics. But if you look at our country as it stands right now, if there's a lot of creativity, a lot of design, our country won't be flooded, because then, you know, so that's, for me, that's where it is, using design and using creativity to go back and solve problems at different levels.
Right. So for this particular clothing line or clothing brand that you're actually introducing, who are your target market?
Okay, so I'd say the first lookbook I put out is just like I said, to tell people how I'm thinking. It's very, the construction is very good. It's very structured, Japanese inspired, Ghanaian inspired, and very whimsical. So you'd say a shirt like this, a regular person can wear it to the office because it has what it denotes. But obviously, you can wear it to a party, you can wear it wherever you want to go to. But my general approach to clothing is that I think life is too short to wear boring clothes. So enough of the straight-jacketed clothes. I mean, the world has become a very colorful place, and there's enough happening that depresses us already. So dress in a way that makes you happy.
Right.
So for me, everybody is my target.
Right.
People want to be happy.
Okay, so should we expect a launch? Or should we also expect you on big fashion platforms?
The biggest fashion platforms in Ghana are Glitz. There's Runways, KOD.
Yeah, KOD's Runway.
Obviously, those are shows I would want to do. But as an entrepreneur at heart, I want to sell clothes.
Right.
So yes, very soon I'm going to launch an e-commerce website where people can buy the clothes worldwide. But obviously, be able to showcase my creativity on some of these platforms and incorporate it into film and other parts. I also paint, so I'm thinking of maybe an expose sometime next year, show off everything I do with my entire team.
Wow, jack of many trades.
Well, master of all.
Master of no, actually, people think it's master of none, but it was just this week on social media that I realized that it's actually longer than that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it praises the jack of all trades.
Exactly, and I was reading a book that talks about how to master things. If you're able to identify the basic principles of something, you can master it. So today you are a presenter, tomorrow you can be a producer. If you're able to master the principles of what does. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so any final words to anybody watching you out there that be like, okay, I can do so many things, but I don't know how to go about it too. So any final words to them?
Yeah, I mean the first thing I'll say is when I was growing up, I was told to pick one thing and master it, pick one thing and do it. But I mean the world has come to a point where you can do anything you want to do. Anything. The key thing is time and effort. If you put in the time and you put in the effort and you're patient with yourself, don't let what's on social media pressure you. That's one thing, and that goes generally.
Right.
Don't let anything pressure you. You have a vision, you're created uniquely, just be you, and that's what you're supposed to serve the world with. If you don't do that, then the world won't experience you.
Right.
Exactly that.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you
it's
too.
been an absolute pleasure having
Same
you
here.
on the show.
Same here.
All right, guys, we are about to wrap up right now. I want to say a very big thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week at the same time. And this show is actually sponsored by Good Day Energy Drink. Keeps you going. My name is Chris Carter, and this has been The Chat. See you next week.